guys, good evening. It's me, Jessie, with Gathering of the Shadows, and I am here with...
I am the Ginger Mystic. Thank you for joining us. Well, I can't read a script very well, but once again, for steps beyond the ordinary into the world of mystery, spirituality, and unexplained.
Yeah. So I am so honored to welcome our guest, Tobias, with the Brotherhood of Witches, right? Am I right? I think so.
Yeah, I think that's what we got. Yeah, we got that.
Sometimes I don't know if I'm going.
You did great. Welcome, ladies.
Welcome. No, you. Yeah, this is such an honor. Seriously, like we watch you all the time on Facebook, and I've been wanting to do this interview for a while. So it's like I'm kind of like in a I don't know, like fanning, like fangirl a little bit. I don't know.
That's cute.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
So yeah, well, happy new moon, guys. It's the strawberry moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful strawberry moon, new beginnings.
Yeah. Although in our area it's kind of cloudy. It's kind of cloudy in our area.
I just realized I did my whole Brotherhood live talking about a full moon. I started on the new moon because I did phases earlier, and I just realized I think I told them it was the full moon, even though in my head, oh well, they'll figure it out.
That's okay. Last time I did a post, I the last moon that we had, it was the black moon, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think I'm just confused with everything going on too. So I'll figure it out after the live. Happy whatever it is.
It must have been a Mercury retrograde kind of thing that we're still in. I don't know.
It started today and it goes through the 23rd of next month.
Yeah.
Listen, I feel like I'm in Mercury retrograde every day, all day.
The time, I agree. The world's on fire. You feel like the world's on fire and we know it?
Yeah.
For sure.
What is that thing? The world is on fire. And it's like a little
R.E.M. song, right?
Yeah.
The end of the world, and we know it.
We know it.
Yeah. 90s grunge.
Heck yeah. I love it. Love music. I love music. So anyway, I guess I'm going to let Ginger start the question because I don't even know what to ask right now. I'm like at a dead, Mercury retrograde all over again. Here we go.
You can ask whatever you want. I'm not very shy.
So from my perspective, I'm not super familiar with you, so I do apologize that I'm just getting to know you. But I do know that you are the CEO of the Brotherhood of Witches, correct?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about what that means. What that is.
That entails all that fun stuff. Yeah. So I'll tell you guys the history, which is interesting. So I started that as a newer witch. I had been following a few good ones that had knowledgeable experience. And what I've always taught myself from a young age is that if you want to be good, you have to surround yourself with people who are better than you. It's going to suck at first. You're going to feel like everything you do is wrong. Everything is going to feel like Chinese. But one day, your brain and your body figure it out. And so following these guys around, learning some stuff a few years back, about 6, give or take. And so I'm 10-year-old witch, and so I'm moderating, getting the scene of the land and what are witches like, what do they talk about. You get the idea back then. And so moderating, a religious Christian comes up and my buddy responds, he gets banned immediately. And so I learned a lesson that day. One, most people in our communities, well, I shouldn't say most, so let me strike that from the record. A lot of people in the communities sometimes approach it from an egotistical standpoint. And that was one of my first lessons in the witchcrafts and greater pagan communities, is that some people as group owners tend to let their egos run the group, etc. And so I didn't appreciate the way that particular group owner had treated everybody. That's just how everybody was treated. And it was specifically put in in comments, I'm the owner, I don't care, stuff like that. And it was like, oh my God. And so I went to my buddy and said, you know, I left that group because that's BS. We should start a group. And he just said, no, you do it. You're newer, you'd be good at it. And here we are about 6 years later. And so it was co-founded, my idea, but buddy Trevor, Hayden Lee, and a guy named Charles, who left the group because he didn't want to be able to half-ass it. And so he just kind of stepped away. So it was originally formed by 4 of us. And the idea was that we would create a place that's like a coven, but we didn't use the word coven because those bones are dragged everywhere still to this day when people form groups sometimes. And so I wanted to pick a name that kind of represented the same theme. And so Brotherhood came up, the Brotherhood of Male Witches, where anyone who identifies as male could come, and it didn't matter which path you had, as long as you could be respectful and you wanted to share your gifts, your skills, your path with others. And that way, as a community, we can lean on each other, we can learn from each other, etc. And so that is what it was founded on. Now, I will tell you that today it looks a lot like a lot of other groups. It needs some tender loving care. And we were at one point about 26,000 members, and we realized the age-old adage, the more you have, money, friends, anything, the more problems you have. And so what we've done is we've scaled it down to between 12 and 13,000. Now, that being said, there's only 10 individuals that run that entire thing. So it's still a lot of work, but it's manageable. So as I told you ladies backstage, we've just started renovating the group and trying to improve the morale and the respect. And I think what's happened, and you ladies might agree, is that when the epidemic hit us and we were forced to be caged, because that's what happened. I'm not a political guy. I actually can't stand politics, but it is what it is. Can't stand talking about religion either, because you can't seem to get out of the talk without being frustrated or angry, right? But so we're going back in and we're slowly pecking away. And I think when that happened, I think people just kind of went stir crazy. I think some marbles fell out, and I think some people changed. And I think we're kind of on the tail end of that. I think you ladies might have followed me long enough to know that I've said in the recent past in some live streams that there's a huge shift going on all over the globe, whether it be people awakening or people having to pivot because of what's going on. So there's a little bit about what the Brotherhood is. And so what we do is there's a no gatekeeping tolerance. We removed a kid earlier for being belligerent, stuff like that. So that's where we're at. We're just kind of picking up the pieces with everybody else quietly. We're encouraging the people publicly in groups that are doing a good job. And, so groups are great when you first start them and the passion is there. It's just when life gets in the way or when life jumps out of the bushes, you kind of feel like this eventually. And I think what I've learned over the last 6 years is that I've most definitely had to learn how to pick my battles, because I've been chewed up, spit out, booted off stage. I've had a group in there, trying to literally crucify me. I sucked, and I've had other groups attack us. So we come from a place of lived experience there. So and it kind of comes with the territory. But looking back at where I was back then, I often wonder if I knew then what I know now, would I have started the group? I probably wouldn't, to be honest. So it's happenstance that it was started, but it is my home. Even though I have a business, it'll always be my home because I created it, and you get it because you girls created this podcast, and so it becomes a part of your energy. And with that, I will shut up and wait for the next question.
No, I mean, I like to hear, that was my, following question was, what were your goals as a community on what you wanted to provide? And you answered that perfectly, because we have to have a safe place for all of us to go, regardless, what you practice, right? And you definitely bring that to the table, let's just say, and you create a safe space for us. I mean, as even female witches, you know, but male witches, you know, yeah. But, you know, it's, I hate gatekeeping as well. And I will say that I hate it because I believe in, Ginger can probably, and maybe you as well, that I practice the way I feel like I want to practice. There is no wrong or right way to practice, no matter what you do. And I think that is something that we need to air out. It's just because it's a new moon tonight doesn't mean you have to do A, B, and C. You know, you do whatever feels right to you. So with that, how do you like? How do you let people know that as well? Like, do you follow a certain, I don't want to say ritual, but do you,
I know
do you, yeah.
I think I should know. You're, so I am a solitary eclectic or a solitary practicer, depending on how you want to look at it. I do have a little bit of a sorcery background as well, but it is no longer around. But I did that because I did this to myself. Do you girls know what this demon is off chance? Okay. And so what I didn't know back then is that my arrogance was going to come back and shove its head up my ass with this. And so this blood curse brought me to the gentleman who formed this. And this guy ended up, sadly, going off the deep end, which is what happens with magic if you don't have discipline. If you make it a power grab, if you can't resist going down the rabbit hole of power temptation. And this poor sap did. I'm not going to tell his name or anything, but this is the Academy of Sorcery. And so I have some background because what I came to him for was to learn how to get along with this guy here, Asmodeus. And so when I was young, I had to learn that lesson of self-cursing. And so that is part of the other reason why when I formed Brotherhood of Male Witches, I had to decide what I was going to do as a path. Coventry, it's great for a lot of people, but for me, it didn't feel right. And I have a lot of people who are Coven initiated, and that's awesome because they are very knowledgeable people. They have extensive knowledge. And in fact, I have people around me in Brotherhood. I'm pretty sure most of them outrank me when it comes to skills and knowledge. But that's what I love, is the fact that I am around so many people who are there to support me and make me better as a witch. But with that has come the gatekeeping, obviously, because I am a solitary eclectic. There are those out there in our community. They will not tell you to your face, ladies, but they are quietly taking your inventory about it. And you'll know their red flags in behavior by the way they comment. And I think that's all I need to say on that. So we've had to address it multiple times in the group. I think it's the younger generation, or it's some of the talk community. And there's nothing wrong with the witch talk community as a whole, but you ladies understand what I'm saying. There's always enough people in the population who ruin it for the rest.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I agree with that. It's crazy. You know, there's no wrong or right way to practice. It's how you feel, you know, with that. So I was going to ask you, now you also have medium abilities, right?
Just newly found about a year ago. It kind of kicked me in the head like a mule. And actually, one of the people that I tune into is the guy I interviewed this weekend on YouTube on the fly. He's going to be telling a story eventually. Brother Richard Williams. He's also a teammate at PW. His grandma ended up passing away, but it was due to a death by another witch's curse. And so we are slowly breaking his story into pieces, and we started that this Sunday. It took about a year, and we use NDA. And so you ladies know, I use NDA with everybody I talk to, because right now it just seems like that's the safest way to go. And I only talk to people in chats right now, like I was telling you, but behind the scenes, and there's a very important reason for that. And this will continue on the gatekeeping answering. I've been attacked multiple times just because of why I practice the way I do, and because I've formed the group. And I didn't know that for years. There was something that happened last year. Not sure what it was. I must have done something, said something. But last year, Towards the end of that one battle, I got stuck in another battle that I had no idea I was a part of for years. And so it's just something that's probably been around in our communities for a while, but maybe us newer people, like me, I'm only 10 years old. You guys are probably newer practicers, right? I would consider advanced 10 years and older, give or take, right?
Yeah.
And so it just seems to permeate still sometimes. And so I've just adopted a more quiet social media presence because of it, because especially in the group, that's what we're dealing with is you have all those paths. And that's one of the issues we still have to this day is you still get new people that aren't paying attention to the rules. By the way, it's in our rules not to report us. And it's in our rules that if you don't like something, scroll by. And yet it happens every day. So go figure.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know, Ginger, what do you think about the?
I also am a very privatized in my practice. I'm new at and learning more about my skills. And so the fact that people are out there saying, don't do this, you can't do that because of whatever reason, makes life about learning about what we're doing a lot harder. And so finding that path and finding somebody who can actually be like, no, let's look at this. And what do you think about that? And like sharing their information, their knowledge is helping people grow. And so the whole gatekeeping prospect is really hard to deal with. Really.
My only advice, and this is because I use it. I don't know if you ladies know that I went through recovery. All right, I'm in active recovery is how we call it. It's kind of like cessating the addiction is pretty much what it is. As long as you don't touch it, you use willpower. And so I've adopted things for my personality to try to deal with this because I think a lot of us in the communities have tried a number of ways to get around and encourage people to stop doing it, yet it's still there. And so I think maybe the core trigger is maybe at people's egotistical level. Like, I know people around me who are saying things like, well, I can't stand it. I want to get seen in the community. And we all feel like that. We all feel like we're fighting to get seen here, but I use a different approach. And, I gave us a 5-year timeline for the business, and I'm kind of doing the same thing now as I work on Brotherhood, giving myself years to put it back together. So that way I don't overpressure myself, and then it gives me something to focus on. And that seems to help all the noise with that. And so it seems to be more bearable.
Yeah. So what is your favorite god or goddess to work with? Who do you choose to?
I feel like I'm going to have to be partial now, but I feel like I have to be partial to Asmodeus here because, he's not a bad guy. Whether or not I get out of this, which I doubt. Okay, I know where I'm going. That's another reason why I stand up in the communities. I'm not as knowledgeable as most people, but I'm willing to learn everything and anything. And so this he's not so bad once you kind of get to know how to work with him. You make some agreements with him because that's the best option I had, right? Kind of like very supernatural-esque, but in reality, it's horrible. Okay, so I don't want to encourage people to like quote supernatural as fact because most of that shit is crap. But there is a little bit of truth to everything, right? Right. And then beyond that, I'll show you guys here. We have Lilith, and then we have Hecate there.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
And so that's where my Athame, and then the scythe is for herbology. You go out and get your dandelions, and we're growing lavender for the first time this year, etc. So expanding all my boundaries, and I'll shut up again.
No, she's more of a green witch too. Like,
Yep.
Right.
It's funny. It's like I'll take the dead stuff and put it in my jars for when I need it for later.
So
I can't keep anything alive.
And I grow everything. I have every herb I can try to grow, every flower that's useful. I've got some of it started, or I know where to gather. which is that's my gift. That is my talent. Like I'm really good at growing things and making things come together. So
yeah.
I got a couple groups I can share with you, ladies. Teammates Sandy and Christine from PW, they run Practical Witchcraft. That's a good place to look to. The Witchery is a newer one. They're growing steadily. They're working on looking for people that are looking for stuff like that as well. Now that I mention it, there's all kinds of people I'm working with. Let me think of other females that I'm following. It escapes me right now. But yeah, I serve on like 5 others, like the occult, paranormal research, Brotherhood, paranormal. Oh my God, I lost count. I think I lost count. I do too much, and so I'm starting to slowly scale back as like this stuff is more exciting and it's growing. So I feed the podcasting friends more. Yeah. Like you ladies, the other podcast friends that I have, they're all great people. Do you know who Sid Ryder is with Wizard Rock Radio? He's a great guy, and because I love rock and roll,
I do too.
He invited me to help guest his show, and it was pretty cool. It was an interesting experience. And then you have our friends at Within, they're doing a lot of work, and they also are working with Between Two Worlds with it, which is another one of Sid's things. And then you have the Dead Speak Tarot. She's a great girl to follow. So I have females around me. You guys are looking for positive people.
Yeah. We have to have positivity for sure. What is your favorite? Do you like? Sorry, go ahead, Ginger. I was just going
to say, like, you know, we got together because, we worked together originally, but also we both have a fascination with ghost hunting and spirits. And so Jess has been in another group that has done a bunch of paranormal research and paranormal investigations. And I have myself too. And so we have that commonality between all of us also, is that, you know,
it's interesting because I believe Within, they didn't know at first either when they were like, hey, you seem positive, blah blah, and they actually do investigation. There's so many practicers that I'm finding recently that do that. It's so cool. White Sage Paranormal too, I think they would align with kind of how we are as well. So we can do paranormal stuff if you guys have questions.
Oh heck yeah, I do. I'm the medium for our local group, and so
that was your question, wasn't it? About my psychic,
no, it's okay. No, it's fine.
How about I answer that first? Okay. See, that's why I have a script. Because
I was just trying to lead us back into the question,
right?
My question.
I like how you did that because I was going, man. But that's why I have scripts. So now, that's the thing I like is I like to give people the real side of things. This is what it's like to be a new creator. You know, as embarrassing as it can be sometimes, I'm working to control it and better get at it. The psychism, though. Richard Williams' grandma, actually, because if you watch the YouTube that we did Saturday, he'll explain it, but his grandma passed away, and oddly enough, I connected to her while I was doing a live right in this very room a year ago. I was talking in the Brotherhood or something, or paranormal last summer, and all of a sudden, you know, it had been a few months since she passed, and all of a sudden, we were talking in the podcast about it, and I just got these chills. And there was definitely, the candle was flickering. It was wild because I was like, what the F is happening? Because I'm not a born psychic, or I'm not a generational witch like Ish is. I'm kind of like a muggle that kind of opened them up. You'll hear people talk about it like on Ancient Aliens. We all have it inside of us. And you'll hear a lot of spiritualists talk about how we have all these abilities and the fact that we only use a little part of our brain, blah, blah. So somehow I've kicked open psychism. I just haven't had time long enough to like sit and study it and see what actually I can do. I'm pretty good at reading people, like from where I'm sitting. I'm pretty good at that, but not all the time. And so it's not entirely controllable. It's still like sometimes getting hit with a bat, but I do my best. How is it like for each of you?
So for me, I'm not really, I don't know if I would call myself a medium per se. I'm very powerful at reading people's intuition. Like I can read people's personalities. I can read people's intentions. I do get messages, not when I'm expecting it. Like for me, it's really hard. Like I can see spirits sometimes, but most of the time I'm getting messages, and some of those messages are really hard to read, and you have to get context and figure out, what that message is for and who it's for sometimes. I've watched Jess in action, however, like on a cold call fly interview. That was the most impressive thing that I've ever seen. She is very talented. Why don't you tell him about that?
Oh, oh, just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I am. I think I'm many different. I don't think you can be like just one medium. I believe, again, just like anybody with practicing witchcraft, everybody has their own way of practicing. I am a clairvoyant, but I'm also a clairaudience. And so, yeah. And I guess we went to a gathering. It was actually a new moon gathering, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And, yeah, it was.
Yeah, and I knew of this store. We've been there maybe once before together to buy some stuff. And
there we go.
I went in there and we were getting together, and yeah, I read her just like I didn't know anything what was going on in her life. I was getting contacted by a kind of a negative spirit. He wasn't evil by any means, but he definitely affected her life and the store and the area that he roams. And so when I read into that, and then I was just, yeah, it was pretty amazing. And she now is doing so much better. And I'm super proud of her, because I told her she is worth more than what she's believing. And that's my whole thing, is to connect with spirit and help whoever's here physically to I guess to heal. And yeah, that's pretty much all. I don't like the fame that much, like I'm not asking for fame at all either, but I want to heal that spirit and I want to heal that person. And yeah.
Both good answers. Very similar to mine.
Yeah.
Very similar. But she can see spirits, which I can't. So I would just say I'm just a plain psychic at this stage. But we'll see where I land. But I would like to one day, adhere to it mostly. And not adhere to it mostly. Work with it more.
Yeah. I don't meditate, and I should. I think I'm really terrible about it. Just because I get into my own head about things, it's like you think you're crossing your own, I wished I could do that, but I can't. When I do try to get into my abilities, it's crazy. Music, I connect with music, and how you say you love rock and roll, right? That is how I center myself, is I'll listen to music, and that's how I get into the mode, I guess.
Almost like a working. When you do workings, like if you're going to petition or manifest, sometimes it kind of works.
Yeah,
I see what you're going for.
Yeah.
I just did one last week, a serious one, and it was I won't name, but it was for benefit, etc. And there's certain things that are required: meditation, cleansing, etc. And so I love doing things with music so much more, especially meditative helps. I think what that does is it gives your brain a psychic cue to connect to the music or the meditation music, whatever you're using. And then that way your brain learns to, it's time for me to shut up. But it takes a long time. When I first approached meditation, it took me a good year. It just sucked.
Yeah. I just can't do it. I don't know. I can, but I just,
my wife
I don't.
Fonda can't for her life. I've tried.
It's really hard when your brain never shuts up. It really is when you've got 27 different things going on in your head all at the same time, and to try to focus sometimes can get really tough. I use music a lot myself, music and quiet, candlelight, anything to help me keep focused, and touching grass a lot.
There you go. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like the last investigation we went together on, I contacted numerous spirits, and we left, and I told Ginger, I'm like, I've got to lay on the ground. I literally laid on the ground in the grass for 20 minutes just to ground myself again. That was an intense
session. It was
very cool.
Yeah.
Let's see, paranormal wise, I'll let you girls figure out what you want to ask me there.
Paranormal. So do you do investigations, paranormal investigations?
We do off and on. Since last year, after I lost that battle that we were talking about behind screen, etc. That's why I pivoted. I realized that the mainstream community was just the way it was, and gatekeeping was going to be what it was. And so we started looking for different individuals, like unknown, smaller, etc. And so our friend Matt Hornick, he'd be another good guy to interview. He is phenomenal. He's got probably 2 decades on me in investigation. But for us, we've done a couple. We were working with a crew called Shadow Seekers Paranormal 3-4 years back, and we were attempting to do just that. Me and Fonda were attempting to possibly collab with a crew, join a crew, learn things, etc. And it just didn't work out. After a couple years, the first couple years were nice. We learned a lot with them, and I'll grab the placard for the Paranormal Rock Down that we help them promote, etc.
Oh, nice.
You might know a couple people on the placard. I do know most of them, or I used to, anyways. They're all okay.
Oh yeah.
So that was pretty cool. And then the second year, I wasn't able to attend, but it was even larger. And it was Paranormal Rock Down, obviously, and they had a bunch of bands like Green Jelly and stuff the first day. So it was a neat concept. But nonetheless, it just kind of didn't work out there. I think it was the temptation thing got to people within the teams, or it was the fact that I was a witch and maybe it rubbed them the wrong way, and it was a passive aggressive thing. Doesn't matter now, right? And so we drifted apart. And so we decided to form the business a year ago on May 9th. And so I chose myself and 12 friends. I picked the number 13 because spiritually it's a strong number. Right now we're 11.
That's my number. I love it.
We're 11 because a couple people just decided, this and that. And see, that's something I'll say on camera because a lot of people don't know this about me. I don't judge people the way most people judge people. Like, I've had admin walk out and come back in. I've had team members leave and come back in. I don't judge people for that. Like most people get super pissed off. Look, man, sometimes something comes out of the blue and hits people like a truck, especially as of the past couple of years. So I usually welcome people back with open arms if that happens. And I try to never, ever let my ego take over my actions. But I had to learn that like everybody else.
Yeah.
And I totally forgot the question. This was about paranormal investigation. And so we met Matt Hornick and Tasha, Clay, Monica, and Robert. They are Blue Mountain Paranormal. You'll probably see me share them quite a bit. We actually drove 1,000 miles to see them late last year. I stayed up 30 hours to meet him personally. I dropped Fonda's booty off at the hotel at 11 and drove another hour and a half to his house and met him. Great guy. So there are like business partners in the paranormal, and then our metaphysical friends and partners are Witchfinder Dating Social Coven. And so I post a couple things like, if you girls are okay, this would be a great podcast to share with them. If people there, because they have people there looking for people like you as well. People that do paranormal and witchcraft. So I share that with as many people as I can guess. Because they're looking for all kinds of people like me, like you. And so, if you're looking for other guests, I'll do my best to get them around to you. That's what I've been doing for the past month is trying to get people connected like the other teams are. I think it's beautiful. If we can get the positivity flowing, we'll get all this negative crap out of the way.
Yeah.
And it seems like to me like that, it seems like such a beautiful connection, a beautiful combination. Like you've got people that are gifted, and then you've got people who are doing paranormal research for scientific reasons, or for whatever reasons they may have gotten into paranormal research. Like those seem like they'd be symbiotic. You know what I mean? So it's sad to find out that there are people out there that maybe don't feel that way or not as connected that way.
Yeah.
Right. What's your opinion, love? What's your viewpoint on that, sweetheart?
Mine? Jess,
yeah, Jess, and then I'll answer. I like that. I like that comment.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of with Ginger the same way. I think we are all at one big family. We have to really think about it. And that was the whole reason. I know I've said this time and time again, why we created this podcast. I wanted to create a safe space for everyone to come and talk about issues they have, frustrations they have, positive things they have, everything all in one with no judgment.
Because
go ahead.
It's got to be about spirituality, whatever that choice is for you, and also safety and being able to learn from each other and gain knowledge. Like the whole point of us coming together and making a group about it was to bring that safe space for
there you go.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So your team is hybridized as well then. Are you kind of like paranormal witchcraft in the same way?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
cool.
Yeah, I do. I do all of it. I don't know. I think I've done witchcraft for a very long time. My grandmother practiced, and so I learned from her, and she's amazing. I lost her just a year ago. It'll be a year in September. And so it's been kind of rough for me because she was one of my main people that I've,
That's
and it
like
sucks.
my buddy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It sucks because I cannot see my family. I can't talk to them. I can't do anything. And I know, and it sucks because I know when my dad comes in my dream, shit's going to hit the fan. So at least I can say, hey, Dad, thanks. What's the storm? What's the shit storm I'm going to have now?
Love it. Good answer. Before I answer, I forgot to answer the paranormal investigation part. I had a finishing comment for that, and then I'll tune in. We are working on getting some investigations together for late summer. So look for those, and I'll share those with you ladies and everyone in the community if you want to tune in.
Very cool.
We're going to be interviewing Chris Stant this weekend. Give him a shot. Me and Matt are probably going to do it together. So that way we can make it much like you just said. We want to make sure that people around us are being seen, that people see that they matter, and that whatever they're doing is highlighted, etc. So this just kind of suddenly happened as well. People are like, you should interview. I'm like, whoa. I'm learning way too many things this year, but whatever.
One thing at a time.
but I think when it comes to the paranormal community at large, I think what it is maybe there's a mix between people being in love with the Hollywood scene and the Annabelle ties, and then you have the fact that there's witches that do paranormal investigation, and that scares a lot of people because if we think about it, most people are what? The R word. And I think that's really the unsaid stigma that we're fighting. And so the fact that we're finding more small teams like your team, my team, the other teams I mentioned, that is so cool. That means they're out there. And so like you all, that's, I think, the goal for a lot of us. And I think that's maybe why there's so many connections going on. Is the fact that the universe sees this happening, and I don't think it's on accident. I think it has everything It has everything to do with how people are reacting to the world around them. And I see everybody from everywhere coming into both of our realms from all walks of life. So I think the best thing we can do about that is keep speaking up about who we are and what we do, and remind people that we're not here to harm people. We're not here to do what they think we're supposed to do, and just keep quietly educating them, or do what I do. I just leave people where they are. If they want to fight, I just walk away now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's one thing that I don't know how you feel and Ginger, but that's one thing when I tell people that I practice or I'm a medium, they instantly think of Hollywood, right? They think of, I have to say, maybe I could be like the craft / medium, right? The show medium, but I mean, it's not like that. And I guess, how do you handle with that stigma, that people are like, oh, are you Gandalf the Grey? And you're
right. Well, I got a story with that. So at that paranormal rock down, the second one, I met Aaron and I met Nick. I haven't met Brandy yet, but I follow Brandy. She's pretty cool, it looks like, from Netflix. And one day we were sitting outside an event, and I think it was Nick, the bigger guy with the hat, Nick Simons.
Oh, yeah.
From 28 Days Netflix. And we were having a cigarette, and I think he looked down and he goes, so you could run a seance, right? And I was like, yeah. He goes, you're a witch? I go, yeah, I'm a witch. And that's pretty much, I think that was when I knew that I was in the wrong community, because the mainstream, even though they talk about it, they only deal with it in the mega mainstream. So like Jason and Hawes and others, then it's okay to be a practicer. Right. Anything below that, like the general population, they just don't want to deal with us. But like I said, I just leave people where they're at, because I got beat up last year. I lost a lot of friends with those 800 people. But at the same time, I use healthy skepticism it doesn't matter if I'm going to Penhurst. That's great that everybody in the world got to experience it there, but I want to experience it. I don't want to take everyone else's word for it. I don't want to take Baggins' word for it or anyone else. I want paranormal witchcraft to experience a haunting or a manifestation, and so when we go to places, me and Fonda use, skepticism always. And so we've come up with a protocol, and it's called Containment Over Chaos, Evidence Over Egos. And I don't think I can find it for you right off the bat, but I'm going to think about it now. It'll bother me. So let me see if I can.
I'd wake up at 3 a.m. going, oh, I remember where it was.
Oh, right. Well, it's in one of these binders. And we actually have a field manual. I don't think I'll find it, but we have something like this, and it's an actual field manual, because what we do is, like we're talking about tonight, is we need to bring back ethics, back into paranormal investigation and the witchcraft communities. Starts with responsibility, the discipline, right? We have to get over this. We have to get over the stigmas that we all have with each other. But I think more importantly, we need to learn to work together. We need to learn to compromise, because both of you ladies are right. Witches and paranormal investigators should go hand in hand, because we know things that they don't, right? And they're not always, oh my God, we're going to, do something that is negative or sorcery. And I was trying to think of a way to say that on camera. You can do blessings and incantations for locations that will bless spirits and the locations, so you can get your evidence safely. It doesn't harm anybody. And then you leave your offerings and stuff like that. And so that's what I started the business for, was to remind people that, that looks great on TV. And it looks great if you look at all these YouTube channels where, it's all about the sensationalism and the theatrics they're using. And everybody feels like they have to use a bell and a whistle or accessorize the paranormal. But when it comes to paranormal investigation, the only thing you really, really, really need is your serious desire. You don't necessarily need to have a full team like everybody else. You can start out from the beginning. You just have to learn how to do it ethically, and not like the people on TV, because what they're really doing is not, they're doing everybody a disjustice. They're not telling you that a lot of the times nothing happens. They're not telling you, right? So,
yeah. And I'm a huge person of, so in my thing is I'm not much of a seance girl. I know it sounds terrible, and I respect people who do that. But to me, I feel like when you're commanding spirit to come through and you start provoking, I don't like that. And that's just me personally. I believe that we need to go in openly and be as positive as, we can definitely be, and have pure intentions on what we want to do. Have I come across evil spirits? Absolutely I have. But that's how you feed those spirits, those negative spirits, is the fear for one, and for two, like you talked about, I just don't believe in doing that. Everybody else, cool, if that's what you believe in, but I feel like you're just like picking, like you're a bully and you're picking on the spirit. So
well, and I don't think they always understand either, like what they can invite in may not be something that they can handle, which is never a good thing. Never a good thing. Yeah.
Hollywood's full of movies of what not to do, and yet people do it.
Every single time.
And people do it all the time. I guess it's whatever gets them the views, so they can, Okay, so I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to do a fun and rapid fire question. Okay. All right. And you both have to answer. So, would you rather have a haunted house or be in a haunted forest?
Haunted house.
I'm going to say probably house. It seems like it's a little bit more contained. A forest can be a little overwhelming. It can hold a lot more spirits.
Right. Yeah. I think I'm going to say forest.
Yeah? Oof. You're brave, girl.
I want to face my fear of the unknown in the forest.
Gotcha.
Like, what portal can I walk through today?
I got just the forest in Japan, if you're so brave.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, no thank you. No thank you. I'm good.
Yeah. I would want to go to the Romanian one too. Their haunted forest there.
Ugh. I think I'd rather go to that one than the one in Japan. That one's a little terrifying.
Yeah, I agree.
I would go in that one.
Yeah, you would?
You would go in that one?
I don't know. I probably would. I tell people, I do some pretty crazy shit. Like if I ever went to Conjuring House, I'm the little guy you guys would throw down the hole. I'm 5'2", 125 pounds, and I'm the guy that gets into all the creepy tight spaces. I can see it now.
Somebody shorter than me?
Well, I'm probably 5'3", but I'm tiny. Yeah, I look. Everyone says I look taller, and it's because I sit really close to the computer.
It's theatrics.
There you go. That's fun.
Oh my gosh. All right. So what is the most... Okay, so spirit boxes. What is your view on spirit boxes? Are they useful or are they overhyped?
Can't stand them. Can't stand them.
No?
I think they are as fake as they can be. I think, and maybe there are good ones out there and there are bad ones out there, but it seems to me like that could be programmed one way or another, depending on what you're using.
So. I think so.
I don't trust them at all.
I don't know where I put mine. I was going to grab one, but I like them. I've used them on the YouTube channel. Like we would do some mini hunts in here because I think we have like a mimic. It's just somebody who used to be here. Every now and then I'll hear Fonda's voice and she's sleeping, but son of a bitch, I forgot what we were talking about. Ask me the question again.
Spirit box.
Spirit
box.
Sorry, she's doing laundry. So I've used the Epoch box a couple times, and I have a Ouija EMF meter too, and it's got 3 lights on it. but I've never seen them flicker, never seen them do anything. And the EMF is the epochs. If you don't know what it is, it's yes, no. And so, you know, I don't have an obelisk, but I have a couple of the apps on my phone, so I know what they do. And so it's really hard to say. Like when we went to the witches circle, when we went to Kansas to meet her, see where she grew up last month, we did a cemetery. We ended up at Witch's Circle, and we used the epoch box. And yes, 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 and no, no, no. And, you know, it's fun to use. I'll say that. Very much for entertainment purposes only, though, I think. And, you know, people seem to get a kick out of them. And so I use them more of a focus for the podcast, etc. But yeah, I'm not sure. Sometimes it has caught me off guard, but overall, I think it's just the environment. Maybe it's the humidity or something triggering it. You know, maybe it's too close to something I have it set by, something like that. So I would agree with both of you.
Yeah. I don't think I really like the EMF meters very much, because sometimes you can never tell if you're not hitting like a electric physically, like you can explain it. Then you would like in dead air. I have an issue with the EMF readers. I don't know why, they just annoy me. It's crazy.
Interesting. That's funny. I think I trust EMF readers more than I would trust a spirit box, especially some of them that are like the apps on the phone. I think that is most.
Oh yeah, the apps on the phone I won't, but the one with the spirit box with the white noise and everything, I've when we were on that last paranormal investigation, everything that I was saying was actually backing up. Came through on the spirit box.
That's true. That was creepy.
I actually have a story. So it was October. I remembered now. It was, I think it was October. We went with Blue Mountain and we drove out to Pennsylvania and Walnut Hill Manor. And so I met another medium who they're friends with. And we had a laser grid, and Matt has an SLS. So while we were playing poker at that Gatsby theme in their manor, by the way, it's privately owned. If you ever have the chance to go, the most museum quality level private home I've ever been to. Walnut Hill Manor, absolutely phenomenal couple that owns it. And so they do ghost hunts. And so we had a ghost, we had a laser grid on, and we had a medium. We had a couple catches, so it was pretty neat. We had a ghost bell, and so we were playing poker, and a lot of times the bell would ding, and so we would let it, etc. And then we had the SLS. Matt had it set up, so we would kind of see whatever's dancing on the table. It was a neat experience. Now I want one, but they're a lot of money.
Yeah, they're a little pricey.
Yeah.
Unless you can find some at a discount, but still a little pricey. So what advice would you give somebody who wants to learn more about witchcraft, or for somebody beginning, I guess you could say? What would be a lesson that you've learned yourself and how they should go about learning more about themselves and practicing?
Gotcha. So as an admin, because I think like an admin now from the Brotherhood, even with paranormal witchcraft, which is interesting. Son of a bitch. Forgot the question again. Ask me again. Holy crap.
Yeah, what advice would you get?
Advice for new practitioners.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, I take gummies, so you'll have to excuse me, especially when I get anxious, and so sometimes that makes me forgetful. So the advice, what I've learned a lot is, you know, one, I'm still learning. I'm only 10 years old, right? And I'll be doing this for the rest of my life. So I'll be 50 this year, so hopefully another 30 plus years. I've learned to keep my mind open to every possibility. I hope to learn many more paths as I go forward. I think a lot of people just want to get there already as a witch. And I think that's a lot of the problem we're seeing is people want to go from day one to casting all the spells they desire. And it's just not that easy. It takes time to get used to practice. It takes time. The best thing we tell people is keep reading. read those books. I mean, I don't have as many books as some, but I think what I have is good books. I try to only pick books that are going to teach me stuff that's solid and not just somebody's version. It all depends, I guess. I also try to advise people on be careful where you're getting your information from. And like you guys said, it's hard to find good people in the communities that are willing to, I don't know, I keep hearing the word leader with me, but like yourselves, I don't view myself as a leader. I'm just somebody who's trying to show people you can treat people with respect no matter what you do. And even if you disagree with each other, you can be civil, especially when it comes to a working relationship. I've had to learn that one the most. But for beginners, stick with it. The more knowledge and the more practice you do, the better you'll get. And I know a lot of people go, everyone says that, but it's the truth. I mean, at your job, you didn't get good or get a raise or get a promotion because you sucked. You did it because you wanted to get better. And so you can't just approach magic like it's a lottery ticket. You can't pretend like it's Harry Potter, and you have to take it seriously, are my top 3.
Yeah, I agree with
advice.
that.
Good advice.
Where can they find you? Where can we find you?
That's hard. That's hard to answer right now because there's so many projects I'm working on. Most of the time, you can find me in Messenger. It's the quickest way to get a hold of me. But if you want to find us in lives, we have Paranormal Witchcraft LLC. Well, actually, www.youtube.com/Tobias Josephson. I'm trying to figure out what name it is this week because I keep trying to figure out how to separate the groups. And so this week it's Tobias Josephson, but I'm going to change it again to Paranormal Witchcraft. The channel Paranormal Witchcraft was actually opened for the Brotherhood. It was never used. So you can see my confusion now that both have a little bit of interest. And so I've been trying to share it because it's easier for me as the content creator, but it's not working out. So it'll be Paranormal Witchcraft. So you can find me at Brotherhood of Male Witches. If you ladies have males that would be interested, send them our way. I have approached them with making it co-ed, and I got my butt beat. And so for now, I need everyone out there to respect me. But I have enough females that, I've answered your guys' questions on the side. So if that's the way you want to do it, that's fine. But you guys seem to be doing okay as far as I know in your personal practices. I'm guessing from here, I shouldn't say guessing, with my intuition, I think you're both solitary as well, or teaching yourself Wiccan. Okay.
Not Wiccan.
I'm
solitary.
Just solitary, just ancestral magic.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think that's what leads a lot of people to solitary is the fact that it's kind of like the Hardy books. You can make the practice your very own. Like Ish was saying, I believe that was one of Ish's big points when I caught that podcast was he was saying a lot what you guys are saying and what I say. If Luciferian is your thing, then go do that. But if you want to be a solitary practicer, I'm good with that because I'm one. Now, admins, we have a couple Coven initiated, we have a couple Wiccan Coven initiated, and then we have a couple solitary. And so I like interacting with the classicity of our communities. It's just some of them don't view us as equals, and that's the best way I can say that. Okay.
Yeah.
In the best amount of respect to everyone in the communities. You know
that's fair.
You get somebody out there who will hear that and their eye will twitch, and it's like, see. Friendly here.
Waving the white flag.
Well, I can tell you, ladies, that this experience has come at a cost. Like I told you earlier, I get some form of negative energy every day, and it's just something that comes with the territory. I just kind of look at it as I go about my daily life, and there's negative things about it, and eventually I will work them out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, it's been a lot of fun.
That's what it's all about.
It's been a lot of fun.
Well, yeah. Well, Tobias, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ginger.
I was just going to say, I really appreciate you coming on with us.
Yeah.
It's been great to have you here, and go ahead and share us. We're always excited to meet new people.
Quite a bit.
And find new things. So yeah, keep it up because we definitely are trying to draw more people in and invite them and make sure that they're welcome. And that's what we're all about.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. Exactly. We're a big family.
Now, what do you guys look for in a guest in case I come across some people?
Everybody.
Okay. Anybody
So you
who's
want paranormal?
interested.
Oh, yeah.
Paranormal, spiritual, witchcraft, anything.
Mediumship.
Even if it's a apothecary.
I have a wild card. That's why I asked.
Oh, yeah.
Or are you guys,
no, we'll take it.
We could definitely have me on again. I'd love that. But I'm a big fan of the disclosure shit. I just love. I actually spent the last year on top of everything else, deep diving all that. And so I only sleep about 4 hours a day, if I'm being honest. So I think Ginger would probably relate with that. I'm a Scorpio, so my brain is always.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hey, I'm just a cow in the middle of a meadow, okay? I'll watch you.
Right.
I love my bull.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a Taurus.
Yeah, I love my bull. Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Well, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are a good team, and I'm new. Truth being told, I've been working on my channel since New Year's. So, I mean, every day. And so I've had like my buddy Matt going, consistency. And it's like, man, but nobody shows up. Consistency. And so I've got the right people just going, get up every day, do you, have fun, podcast and guest with the people that you align with, you ladies, all the other friends. And that's what it's about. And the hope is, like you ladies said, is we get other people inspired that, hey, what's going on over here? These people look like they're smiling. Nobody's smiling right now. And that's the whole idea.
That's true.
No, it's true. It is so true. Well, guys, yes, it has been, the honor is ours, and we are so happy to meet you. Keep doing what you're doing. I think it's awesome. And and we also like to hear from our listeners as well and watchers. If they want to come on and join our little family, send us a message at gatheringoftheshadows@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Gathering of the Shadows, and on our YouTube. And I'll put that in the notes because I can't even say everything all at once. So till next time, guys, keep in mind, question what you think you know. And remember, sometimes shadows aren't something to be feared. Just respect the unknown.